7 Stoic Rules to Stop Overthinking. Calm anxiety, gain clarity. What if your mind is not a prison, but a fog that can clear? Welcome back to Stoic-Wellspring, where ancient wisdom meets the struggles of your modern day. Today, we face the storm of overthinking, the endless what-ifs, and the anxious loops that steal our clarity. The Stoics left us not just comfort, but rules, tested by centuries, to help us calm the noise within. Overthinking is not just a habit, it is a silent robber. It steals your sleep at midnight, it steals your focus at work, and it steals the joy of simply being present. The mind loops on questions that have no end. What if I fail? What if they judge me? What if I'm not enough? And the cruel part, the more you try to think your way out, the deeper you sink. Modern advice often tells us, just stop worrying, just be positive. But you and I know it isn't that simple. The Stoics never promised an easy escape. They didn't paint anxiety as an enemy to be destroyed. Instead, they gave us rules to train the mind as one would train the body. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words are not comfort slogans. They are practices tested by centuries, lived by men who faced exile, war, and death, and yet remained calm within. In this reflection, we will explore 7 Stoic rules to stop overthinking. Rules to help you step out of mental fog, silence the anxious static, and act with clarity. Not theories for scholars, but tools for everyday warriors, students, creators, parents, leaders, and anyone caught in the loop of what if. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why you overthink, you'll know how to cut the knot and walk freer. Rule number 1. Withhold assent. Every thought that enters your mind arrives with a disguise. It looks urgent, it feels true. She hasn't replied, she must be upset with me. I stumbled once, everyone thinks I'm incompetent. The Stoics warned us, impressions are not truths, they are merely visitors at the gates of the mind. Epictetus once said in his discourses, "When a thought appears, do not say, it is true. Say only, you are an impression, not the thing itself." To withhold assent means pausing before you nod. You see the thought, but you don't let it pass as law. Imagine a guard at the city gate. Not every traveler who knocks should be allowed inside. Modern psychology confirms this. Cognitive diffusion teaches us to step back from thoughts, to see them as passing clouds. Here's a simple practice. The next time a thought grips you, say out loud, "This is just an impression." Then breathe, wait, and watch. This tiny gap interrupts the spiral of overthinking, because once you see thoughts as visitors, you realize you don't have to host them all. Example, you send a message, no reply. Old habit, spiral into stories of rejection. New Stoic habit, tell yourself, this is just an impression. Reality is not yet known. Then move on with your task. The more you train this, the less power anxious loops have. Overthinking thrives when impressions are believed too quickly. It dies when you hold your assent. Remember, not every knock at the door is worth your welcome. Rule number 2. Virtue first filter. Overthinking often comes from endless options. Should I say yes or no? Stay or leave? Speak or stay silent? The more doors you imagine, the more trapped you feel in the hallway. The Stoics solve this by narrowing the filter. Not which path feels safest, but which path honors virtue. The four cardinal virtues, wisdom, justice, courage, temperance, were their compass. Seneca once wrote in his letters to Lucilius, "If you live in accord with nature, you will never be poor. If you live in accord with opinion, you will never be rich." Nature, to the Stoics, meant living by virtue, aligning every choice with what is noble, not what is comfortable. Example, you debate whether to confront a friend who lied. Fear says, stay quiet. Pride says, attack. Virtue asks, what is wise, just, courageous, and temperate? When you run your decision through these four gates, the fog of doubt thins, overthinking shrinks, because the metric is clear. Here's a practical exercise. When you feel torn, write the four virtues on a page. Under each one, ask yourself, does my choice honor this? Then circle the option that survives all four tests. This filter won't erase uncertainty, but it will ground you. You no longer drown in what-ifs, because the compass points one way. The anxious mind multiplies scenarios. The Stoic mind reduces them to one, the virtuous one. Rule number 3, one action rule. Overthinking often feels like spinning in a maze. Every path looks possible, but none leads forward. The Stoics teach us that the way out is not through more thinking, but through one clear action. Epictetus once wrote in his Enchiridion, "Do not waste the rest of your life speculating about others. When you neglect to act, action breaks the loop. The anxious mind asks, what if? The disciplined mind answers, what now?" Imagine standing before a cluttered desk, paralyzed by where to start. The Stoic approach is simple. Pick one task, complete it fully, then move to the next. This is not about productivity hacks. It is about training the mind to trust action more than endless deliberation. Here's a practical exercise for you to try. When you feel stuck in too much thinking, write down all the options filling your mind. Then, choose just one small action you can take in the next 5 minutes, and do it. Example, you fear sending a proposal because it's not perfect yet. The one action rule says, send a draft. Taking action creates clarity. Overthinking thrives on hesitation, but withers under execution. The moment you act, the fog begins to lift. Remember, clarity does not precede action. Action creates clarity. Rule number 4. Night review, morning intention. Overthinking loves the night. When the world grows quiet, your mind grows loud. You replay conversations, regret decisions, and predict disasters that never arrive. The Stoics had a weapon against this: journaling, not a diary of feelings, but a disciplined review and intention. Seneca once wrote in his letters to Lucilius, "When the day is done, I examine my entire conduct and repeat the day's events. I hide nothing from myself. At night, review simply, what did I do well? Where did I fall short? What can I learn?" 3 lines are enough. This closes the loop. Instead of carrying every thought into sleep, you place them on paper and the mind releases its grip. Morning is the counterbalance. Begin with one clear intention. What virtue will guide me today? It can be a sentence. Today, I will practice courage in my work. Here's a practical routine. Keep a notebook by your bed. Before sleep, write 3 lines of review. On waking, write 1 line of intention. Repeat daily. Example: a young man reflects, procrastinated study, argued with mom, helped a friend. Morning line: today, I will practice temperance with my words. Overthinking thrives on unclosed loops. Night review closes the day. Morning intention opens a new one with clarity. Do this consistently, and your mind stops chewing the same thoughts because you've given them a place to rest and a direction to move. Rule number 5. View from above. Overthinking shrinks your world into a tiny box. Every worry fills the whole screen of your mind. The Stoics practiced an exercise called the view from above. It was not imagination of disaster, but expansion of perspective. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in Meditations, "Look down from above on the countless gatherings and ceremonies, and consider how tiny the things of men are." Picture yourself rising above your city. Streets become lines, people become dots, problems become specks. From this altitude, the fight with your colleague, the deadline panic, the anxious loop, all shrank. Here's a living practice. When caught in worry, close your eyes. Imagine lifting above your house, then your city, then the earth itself. Ask, will this problem still matter at this scale? Example: you stress about a presentation. From above, it is one voice, in one room, on one small planet. Suddenly, the fear loosens its grip. Modern psychology echoes this. Studies on self-distancing show that shifting perspective reduces rumination and anxiety. Overthinking thrives when problems look massive. Perspective shrinks them back to size. Remember, the universe is vast. Your problem is small. From above, you see clearly what deserves your energy and what does not. Rule number 6. Decision windows. Overthinking thrives on open time. If your mind has no boundaries, worry takes all the space. The Stoic remedy is to create decision windows, small, intentional blocks of time to think, then close the door. Imagine this: you are debating a career move, day and night. The question gnaws: should I stay in this job or leave? Without limits, you ruminate endlessly, rehearsing conversations with your boss, projecting financial disasters, imagining regrets 10 years from now. A decision window changes this. You sit down, set a timer for 15 minutes. In that window, you pour out every worry on paper, fears, hopes, what ifs. At the end, you classify each, decide, defer, or discard. Consider this example. A young person worries about choosing a major. For weeks, they keep looping. What if I pick wrong? What if I regret it? During a decision window, they list every fear: disappointing parents, job market prospects, wasted time. Then they mark 3 buckets. Decide. Talk to alumni about the top 2 majors. Defer. Do the job market research next month. Discard. Everyone will laugh at me. That is an impression, not a fact. Psychology supports this. Worry appointments in therapy show that when anxiety is given a scheduled slot, it loses its power to invade the whole day. Here's a practice worth trying. The next time you're stuck, give your worry 15 minutes on paper. After the timer ends, act on one decision and forbid the loop to continue. Overthinking thrives on endless rehearsal. Decision windows give it a stage, a script, and a curtain call. After that, the show is over. Rule number 7. Guard the gates. Overthinking is not only born from within, it is also fed from without by every notification, every headline, every careless word. The Stoics compared the mind to a city. If the gates are left open, any noise, rumor, or invader can rush in. Epictetus once said in his discourses, "If you want to improve, be content to appear ignorant of some things. Do not admit every rumor into your ears." Guarding the gates means deciding what enters your mental city. Not every article deserves a read. Not every message deserves an instant reply. Example, you scroll before bed. News of crisis, a friend's complaint, a viral outrage, all rush in. No wonder your mind races at midnight. Guarding the gates would mean 1 hour before bed, phone away, book in hand. You choose what enters, and peace follows. Here's a practical step. Audit your inputs. For 1 week, track what you consume: news, social media, gossip. Then cut 1/3. The silence you gain will surprise you. Another scenario, an employee overwhelmed by constant Slack pings. Guarding the gates means muting channels, setting 2 check-in windows a day. What seemed urgent becomes manageable. Overthinking is often not your fault. It is the noise you allowed through the gates. By guarding them, you protect your mind from being colonized by chaos. Remember, attention is the most precious currency. Spend it with discipline, and overthinking will starve. Before you move forward, pause here. Let the 7 rules settle. Which one spoke loudest to your current struggle? Was it the guard at the gate, reminding you to choose your inputs, or the simple act of writing 3 lines at night and 1 line at dawn? Ask yourself, what is one knot of thought you've been carrying, and which rule today can untie it? Take a breath. Inhale clarity, exhale noise. Remember, wisdom is not absorbed by listening alone. It is carved into your life by reflection and practice. These 7 rules are not decorations for the mind. They are tools for the hand. Use them when the fog of thought closes in, when anxiety loops without end, when the night feels heavier than the day. Remember, clarity is not a gift, it is a discipline. Each time you withhold assent, choose virtue, or guard your gates, you are carving freedom into your life. If this message has given you strength, join us by subscribing. Each video is a reminder that you are not alone in this struggle. The Stoics walked this road before, and now you can too. Seneca once wrote in his letters to Lucilius, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. So let us suffer less in thought and live more in presence." Be well, be still, be free.